Another episode?
Another episode.
All right, another episode. This is take number 755,000, I feel like. It's also really hot here in Kentucky right now. This video is going to be us covering, as you can tell by the title, 8 things that we found critically important for us as a family, either emotionally, daily life, financially, some different things that we wanted to identify to say, if we're really serious about this move of moving our kids to a whole nother country and a whole nother part of the world, we need to really understand these things. Number 1 was the effect on the kids. How is this going to affect their mentals? How is it going to affect them physically, emotionally, all those different things. I think any good parent would look into those things, even if you were moving from Kentucky to California, you would still research those things. And that's really the way we looked at it. We try not to look at things from a different country as like, there are extremes, but when you travel around, you really kind of see like things aren't really that much different. Like kids still eat Taco Bell and KFC in Portugal, right? Like they do that here. So, you have some of those same things. And what we learned was there's some massive support groups out there in the Facebook groups. There's a ton of resources out there from a psychology standpoint. I think one of the things we did, we even got them some books that talked about transition and moving. One of the cool things that's kind of coming out about it is my daughter is actually trying to write a book herself that speaks from, the age of a preteen going through this process and kind of sharing some of her lessons that she's learned. So
the effects on the kids, we also look at family and friends. So the second one we're looking at, number 2, would be family and friends. And this was probably much bigger for me and the kids. We live close to my family. They are a big part of our life. So this was probably top on the list with the kids and me. So for me, it was, will you still be able to communicate? Well, obviously, yes. Facebook, we do that now when we live, a mile down the road.
FaceTime.
FaceTime. And so, going across the country doesn't seem like a big deal when you're able to communicate the way we can. So,
meaning it's not different going across the country
versus going over to California. It's not much different, and it's a cheaper flight there for people to come visit. It's more affordable. It's a beautiful country.
Just being able to understand, I think, will they be able to come visit? Will family want to come visit? Will, are we going to go to a place that family and friends want to come visit? Are we going to be able to come home? How many days are we going to be able to come home? What is our visa requirement? How long do we have to be in the country?
Yeah, there's a lot to consider. So that was the second thing, and we were able to work through that and how that looks for us as a family as well.
I think number 3 was language, right? So obviously in Portugal, and this is a big difference. So if you're looking into Portugal, if you're just starting out and you happen to come across our video, there is a difference in European Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese. And we found that out early on, thankfully, but even still in some of our early translations of Google Translate, for example, is Brazilian Portuguese. That is not European Portuguese. So if you're translating words and trying to understand certain things on certain websites, it's going to be difficult. One of the things we did, and again, we'll go into some in-depth episodes on each one of these topics, but we got the kids early on when I don't think we even knew we were going to do this.
It was kind of a test to see if it was something like, if they really wanted to, or they were really thinking about, the move, then they would have taken advantage of this, and they did.
Yeah, so we got them a Portuguese tutor. So we set them up in some Portuguese tutoring. They ran with it. They picked it up very, very quick. They were running around the house using words and doing those things, and now they've got a whole binder of things together. So I think the language, now also I think it's important to note, and we just got back recently from a trip over there, while Portuguese is definitely the native main language, English is spoken probably just as prevalent. I think everybody that we encountered at least knew a little bit, and most people could have just a full-blown conversation with you.
And they're taught in school. English is one of the languages that are taught in school. So even though they're still going to public school.
Which brings us up to
number 4.
Number 4.
Yep. So schools was a priority for me. 1 as a teacher, and 2 because I know that I see kids come in from other countries into our school and our school system, and how that can go well and how that can go not so well. And so I wanted to know the ins and outs of how that works. And the public school system is fabulous. Private, they have 2 different private Portuguese and private international. We did look into both of those, but for us, we decided to go public school. And not just because of the cost, but because of the experience that they will get. Like Shane said, kids are resilient. They learn the language, everything we've been seeing. They will be our translators within about 6 months because they will pick up the language that fast with help as well in school.
Yeah, and I think it really kind of ties into both the language and the effect on the kids. What we've learned in the research, the psychological immersion into the schools is something that helps their transition. They pick up friends, they're communicating in that language, so it's not as overwhelming. And like anything else, when you just kind of dive in and learn something, you run with it, right? So coming up on number 5, the daily life. The daily life is something that we wanted to make sure aligned with where kind of take the next step. For those of you maybe who have no idea who I am or know nothing about my journey, the last 10 years for me has been working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, not sleeping, traveling out of the country 150 days a year, all of those different things. And we didn't want to do that going forward. So I've changed my career in a lot of ways, but also we wanted to be somewhere where there was a lifestyle that was conducive for that. She is no longer teaching now and doing her online tutoring and those
online tutoring.
No
longer teaching. But
no longer teaching, but doing the reading, tutoring. So what we found, the daily life is absolutely conducive. It made sense. It makes sense even from a time difference standpoint because it allows us to get up and take the kids to school and work out and have some time for us. And then by the time America kind of gets up and going, it's kind of when the day kind of gets it going there. So I think daily life is, and again, we'll dive into all these, but it definitely fits the bill.
So number 6 is healthcare. This will blow your mind. So we are looking at healthcare now, and the cost of it is insane. One of the ways that we were saving money is on healthcare. It is private health insurance. I'll give you an example. For a family of 5 is about $250, give or take, depending on the company you go with and what you need. Public health insurance is free. And you don't go pay a deductible, a copay, whatever it is. And so that was a major thing. And their health system is ranked.
So and again, none of this is a strike on America or anything like that. It's just for comparison standpoints. So their healthcare is ranked 11th in the world, and the United States is ranked 26th. So definitely, obviously, it played a part. And that's not the private system; that's their public system that's ranked that. So I think for us, it was one of those things where, saving a ton of money, $2,000 a month for insurance versus $200 is a big deal, right? Like that's a huge saving, and it's better quality. Number 7 kind of ties in really to kind of some cost saving standpoint of groceries, right? Now I know because I've traveled a lot around the world and been to a lot of different grocery stores and all of those things. When I go to a country, because I am the cook of the house, it's something that is kind of cool and unique to me to go to a market or go to the grocery stores to kind of check those things out. We went and did that, and we noticed very, very quickly that groceries was, a very reasonable cost. We went online, we put a month's worth of groceries into the cart as if we were buying them here, and saved a ton of money, doing those things. And it's a huge, huge cost.
So the next thing is transportation.
Right.
This is number 8. Thank you. Number 8 is transportation. So we're very reliable on 2 cars for a long time. We have now moved to 1 car, so we're a 1-car family, and we're getting used to that. So we wanted to see if we could make it, if there was somewhere that we could live with 0 cars. And it is very, especially from our trip, like we knew that,
Yeah.
we had read that and we had noticed that, but from our trip, everything is walkable. And so the neighborhoods that we looked at in the areas, we'll be able to go without a car, which means no car payments, no car insurance, there's no hassle of figuring out who's taking the car when. And so transportation was one of them. They have fabulous public transportation from anywhere, bus, train, tram.
Yeah. I mean, for us, here we're spending $1,100-$1,200 a month on cars and insurance and gas and all of those different things. And we're going to be going from $1,200 a month to $150 a month in Uber rides and
Train pass.
train passes and those things. Yeah, I mean those are our 8 things that we took as critical and wanted to really dive into those things.
To see if it would meet our purpose of wanting to be able to kind of slow down our pace of life and travel. And
in the descriptions, we'll provide some links so that there's some stuff there. Just remember, do us a huge favor, comment, like the video as well, and subscribe. Also, there's a little bell down there by the subscription button. Hit that, you'll be notified every time we upload a video. There's a lot of people doing this. There's a lot of people vlogging about their journey. We want to bring a different perspective because we're not doing a retirement early. We're not coming over as singles, but we're coming over from a standpoint of, we're a family coming over. So really appreciate you guys tuning in, and until next time.